How's it going, YouTube? This is Tim from Starter Software, and today I'm going to show you a useful set of code called the switch statement. It's used in a lot of instances, and it can save you a lot of time. For this example, I'm going to show you how to make a button that has multiple buttons in the same object, instead of making a separate object for each button. So in the sprite, I have 4 different buttons here. Image 0, 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm going to do is show you how to make each button you click on do something different. So in the object, you want to set the sprite to the one that just makes something similar to that. In the create event, make sure you put the image speed to 0. And then what you want to do is just create a room really quick. Now this is something you're going to have to remember is we're going to put 4 of these in here because I have 4 colors. There was red, blue, green, and yellow. Okay, so the first one's fine because it's red, but the second one, you want to right click on it and click creation code, type in image index equals 1, and if you want to, just to be safe for the first one, just do image index equals 0. Do you get what I mean? So we're going, this one's image index equals 0, this one's 1, this one will be 2. Okay, and then the last one would be image index equals 3. Now if you want to take a look so far, this is what we got. Since we set the image indexes on the creation code, that means that those objects are going to have different indexes because we just set them. See that? So we got all the same object in the room, but they're just different because they have different indexes. Now what you can do is inside the object, you can do the click on the mouse and do left released. Drag in the code. Okay, now this is what we're going to use. We're going to do switch image index. So basically this is saying that, oh, what am I doing? So basically this is saying, like, when the left button is released, when we click on one of these buttons, the image index, it's going to do a switch statement to check which one that we clicked on. So for switching the image index, there can only be 4 possibilities because we have 4 different buttons. So there's going to be the image index 0, 1, 2, and 3, which would look like this. So we got 0, 1, 2, and 3. And if any of you are confused to why it's 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, all you have to do is go to your sprite that has the multiple images. And if you notice, it says image 0, image 1, 2, 3. It starts at 0. So that's why I have 0, 1, 2, 3, because that's what's in there. So if we go back into here, this is our switch statement. Case 0 means that if we click on the button, and the button we're clicking on has an image index of 0, that's the code we want to execute. So for this, I'm going to do show message. I'll type in red. So because we know that in that sprite, in this sprite right here, the image index is 0 for red. See, image 0 is the red one. So when we're clicking on the button, if the image index is equal to case 0, which would be image index 0, it's going to show the message red. And you can, add this in over here too. And we're going to change the text. Oops. Okay, so what would be next? It looks like yellow, green, blue. So yellow, green, and blue. Alright, so now what do we got here? In the create event, the image speed equals 0, so that way we don't have the button flipping different colors on us. It stays at 0. And then in the creation code in the room, we set to which image indexes we wanted each button in the room to be. And now we have a switch statement on our left release mouse event. So if we click on the button in the room that has an image index of 0, it's going to show the message red. If the image index of the button we're clicking on is 1, it's going to show the message yellow, and so forth. And now let's run the game and I'll show you. Alright, so we got our room here. If I click on the red one, it says red. If I click on the yellow one, it says yellow. If I click on the green one, it says green and blue. And just to show you guys a little something else about the switch statement, so I'm going to make another button here, another index. And you know, I'm going to make this one gray. So this is like a gray button. What you can do is, like, if you don't want to use all of your sprites, then there's a very useful tool that'll come in handy, so you can have a default in case there's something there that might not come up. Let me show you what I mean. So we would do default colon show message no colored button clicked. Alright, so since we just added this gray button here, it has the image index of 4. So let's go in the room here. Let's add another button in there. Let's add it right there. The creation code, image index equals 4. Because remember, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now I'm going to hit play. And now watch what happens when I click on the gray button. No colored button clicked. And if you notice, the code that we used was a little different. All we put was default. And what that means is if there is no case here representing the image index that you have, the default would be to show this message. I mean, you can also use that for if you want to debug errors, you know, in examples where in case an error does occur, you can put a show message error has occurred at this place. But anyway, default just means that if none of these cases match up to your switch statement, then it's just going to throw out the default code that you have right here. And that's basically all you need for switch statements. You can use it for almost everything. I got a few games I'm working on where I'm controlling almost everything by one object just by using a lot of switch statements. They're definitely a little bit more advanced. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be uploading more soon.